Hello, in this video tutorial we are going to explain the structure of the passive voice and its use. For this we must also explain the active voice. Things to remember. When speaking of active and passive voice in English, it refers to the grammatical structure of a sentence. It's the order of its words. 2. When we think about writing a text, there is something that we must take into account. Not all texts have the same structure. 3. Some texts are more complex than others according to their context and objectives. In general, the passive voice serves to highlight the element that receives the action, rather than who performs it. 4. The structure of sentence in the passive voice is not so common in everyday language. However, it is very important to know how to build sentences in the passive voice in order to acquire a good level of grammar in English throughout the learning of the language. And 5. To differentiate the active voice from the passive voice, it's essential to look at the grammatical structure of the sentence. The active voice. The structure of phrase in active voice is the most common, the one we learn first and the one we use most. The structure is subject who does the action plus verb plus object that receives the action. On the one hand, the active voice can be our best ally when we want to write a light and friendly reading text. For example, yesterday afternoon, a volcanic eruption destroyed an entire village. Mountain Sirius, which sparked through was dormant, erupted at 3 p.m. We can also use the active voice to refer to the work of another author or introduce a table or figure. It's always best to put the author first, followed by a verb in the active voice. For example, the reader used the term difference to describe the origin of presence and absence. Now I will explain you the passive voice. The structure is object that receives the action plus verb to be in the same time of the phrase in active voice plus verb in past participle plus by plus subject who does the action. On the other hand, the passive voice is an ace up their sleeve for all those who have to write scientific reports and also summarize their own information or the experiments produced of authors, although included names could stray from the initial objective. For example, quantum physics has been benefited from the studies made by the Professor Nicolas Fournier. To transform an active sentence to a passive one, we take into account the following points. First, the object of the active sentence becomes the subject of the passive. The two is the main verb is replaced by the auxiliary to be at the same time together with the main verb in participle. 3. The subject of the main sentence becomes the agent complement of the passive. And 4. If we mention in the sentence the subject that performs the action, agent subject, this will normally be preceded by the preposition by, as we have already seen. Now it's very important to know are the verb sentence from active to passive voice. In the active voice is present, but in passive voice is present perfect. For example, the car is washed, and in present perfect is the car has been washed. You can also see this table and pause the video. These are some examples to pass the active voice to passive voice. The first is George Martin wrote Game of Thrones, and the passive voice is Game of Thrones was written by George Martin. The second is the housekeeper will learn the room, and the passive voice is the room will be cleared by the housekeeper. Now we are going to practice. Let's start with this game where we must associate the two-verb sentence. Let's take a moment to think. Now we will see the answers. Present with present perfect. Future with future perfect. Past with past perfect. And future in past with future perfect in past. This game was fantastic. Very good.
Okay, in this part we are going to practice. Now let's do some exercises. Get ready. In this exercise, you have to match each word with its corresponding pair. And if you are correct, both will disappear. In this moment, you can take your time and take notes in your notebook, and let's compare. Do it. There are 5 sentences and 5 words. You can take your time, and after that, let's compare. Ready? Let's do it. The first sentence is Elton John was in England. The correct word is bored. They disappeared. The beds haven't been yet. The beds haven't been made yet. The next is the race by Alonso yesterday. The race was won by Alonso yesterday. Do you think we'll be to the party? Do you think we'll be invited to the party? The finale is a new sports center is being built. Here you can check your points and your note 10 of 10. And here is the correction and the sentence with its corresponding pair. Now we are going to evaluate. We are going to test your knowledge with a fun quiz. In this quiz, you only have to complete the sentence correctly to earn points. And remember to take note of the points you earn with each question. Let's do it. Question number 1. English by 3.5 billion people all over the world. Choose the correct answer. And the correct answer is spoken. That's your points. Question number 2. The Mona Lisa by Leonardo da Vinci. Choose the correct answer. And the correct answer was painted. And that's your points. Question number 3. More and more trees down every day. Choose the correct answer. A, B, C, or D. And the correct answer are being cut. Your points. Remember to take note of the points. Here you can choose a bonus to add or remove points. And you choose the card. In this case, I am going to choose this. 50 points. Question number 4. The Thessaloniki Metro in 2020. Choose the correct answer. And the correct answer will be completed. Yes, more points. And the last question, question number 5, is, oh no, the famous painting stolen. Choose the correct answer. And the correct answer has been stolen. Well, I hope this exercise and these games have helped you to learn more about passive voice. In the description, I will leave the links so that you can continue practice, you can share them with your friends, and I hope that these games have helped you. If you have some questions or suggestions, we will read them in the comments. Leave your comments and see you soon. Bye! Thanks!